Today, I will address a space in all these teachings that has come us to awake us that if we are struggling in a space, that means we are still not connected into the space of beingness. So if your relationship with information, when you attract the space of information and the mind, and they will come to a space of logic no longer serve the purpose, it a dead end. If you identify yourself with the body, you will constantly fight to have a totally optimum space of health, and anything that against that space of that, you will fight the look, the shape, the beauty, and you will have relationships further develop into the space of the body. Now, all these things in relation to your practice is important, but what is most important is the space of beingness. Perception of a body and a mind is so separated. That's why reality is one, and it is the only truth of the reality. But how we perceive reality is millions and thousands. So that's where all the separation comes. Uh, that we don't spend time to understand the connection that deeper down we have to everything is that space of beingness, and it is not separate from your being to someone else being. Beingness is one, and everything in this space of the galaxy, beyond the galaxy, all comes from that space, or whatever you want to call the universe, the God. So it's not my God, it's not his God, it not is their God. It is the connection to that space. And if we don't come to that space, there will be a separation, and out of that separation, you will create hardship for yourself, and you will struggle. And you could see that people think that, okay, I'm virtually connected to the world, I know what's going on, but that connection to see the beingness in another human or in the space of the nature, if you're not connected to those parts, you will struggle. And loneliness can be much more worse than any other sickness. Because when you are very alone with your own thoughts and with your own emotions, you will protect yourself from the others, and you, your body will come into, it's a proven fact, into a stage of troubling, because that you think the other is different than you, or other is not elevated as you, or other is not this or that. So today's class will find areas of pointing into this, that your separation is your struggle, and in the space of the realization of the being, you will not struggle because there's nothing to fight. Fighting is the extension of your illusion as another person. So I will now point the camera towards Darren, saying that, hi, Maria, good to see you. Hi, Rebecca and Darcy, if you're there. Now take a good elongated breath and just observe the presence of the breath entering into the space of what you call body, what you call mind, what you call witnessing. But without the space of anything, just observing this breath that moving into this space and moving out of this space. Shoulders relaxed, chest open. Uh, keep a great elongation into the breath, and also keep that space of knowing the sense of your spine, knowing just the sense of breath. Now the beingness is where it is. observing. Everyone in this very moment is in that space, and there is a form of energy moving in and moving out. And let's not exercise the mind into division of animal and people. Even the person that you're having the problem with, the beingness is the same. So let go of your thoughts, let's go of your feelings, and let's everyone turn their attention, whether it's Maria, Sylvia, Pamela, away from your thoughts and feelings, just to be in the sense of this experience. Then you will understand. You all are experiencing the same being. So whether you're looking at your son, whether you're looking at your wife, whether you're looking at your pet, if you turn away all that, what all of us is left? Now, when you come into this realization, take a deep breath, palms raise onto the ground, palms onto the namaskar position. Take a deep breath in and generate a om to being in that space. Take a deep breath in. Now, very gently coming into the place of why have I got separated? Because I need happiness, but the person I am having the problem also need happiness. And out of this happiness to achieve it when it is already there, you have gone into a separation. Now, coming to that realization, don't go into the logic phase. Even out of the illusion of love, you have separated yourself because you think the other is other. Now that the separation is less, now take the out breath and twist the spine to the right side, stomach pulled in on the out breath. Breathing in back into the center. Change the formation of the legs. Completely breathing out onto the left side. Now, take a deep breath coming into the center. Shoulders relax. Now stretch the neck to the right. Keep your left shoulder down. Take a deep breath in, back to the center, onto the other side. Now back into the center. Now, when you come into this realization, whether you have a problem in the relationship, whether you have a problem with a child, whether you have a problem with a neighbor. Now, when you come into the same place of the beingness, you're absolutely in that space. The energy that moving in and out through that is not thought, but absolutely sympathy. As that you're feeling someone else pain, someone else struggling as your own, and as much as if it was your own, you want it to be a place of less suffering. You have a level of sympathizing. Now gently back to the center, gently breathe out into a seated cat, and very gently allow to release the tension of that spine. Back into the center. Drop the belly, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gazing up onto the third eye into a seated cat. Breathe out. Now very gently in a slightly locked, navel lock, throat lock. Now hold that bandha. Let the bandha reveal the absence of the self. Don't go to the words, don't go to the teachings, don't go to anywhere. Direct experience of the awareness of that beingness that awakens to the wholeness. Now take a deep breath in, tongue roll up onto the upper palate, energy gaze onto the third eye into a cow. Now come into a neutral spine. Now take a deep breath in, shrug the shoulders up, tilt the head back, massage the back of the skull. Now breath out, chin to the chest, release the tension. Now take a deep breath in, shrug the shoulders up, tilt the head back, open and close the mouth to release the tension on the C1 and C2. Breathing in back into the center, bringing that respect to the space of the beingness. Now, try to be anything other than yourself. Now take a deep breath in and release the tension of the ankles in front of each other and bring the below the hips into the space of the Sukhasana. Okay, once you get to the Sukhasana, whether you have a bolster or something, take a deep breath in and walk those palms into the front and try not to elevate the buttocks, but grounding your buttocks into the space. And very gently, palms facing up, release the tension of the shoulder blades, release the tension of the spine that attach to the rib cage, and taking that gentle breath to accomplish this space, but deeper. And now take a deep breath, palms facing down, very gently coming back. Shoulders relaxed and chest open. Elevate the space of the heart. Couple of more breaths in the space of the purest form of respect comes from the being. Genuinely, you're embracing this very moment without comparing yourself to the other, without running away from the other. without having the difficulty of the future of the other. Very gently releasing the tension of all the mask that pleases others. But if there was a mask which taken, what is the face of the being? Don't try to find a form to it. Be comfortable of what is the face of being that wears all these masks. At that very moment, you will come to your own skin. The very moment you will come to your own truth. And just embracing that beingness or uniqueness. Now, very gently, left leg stretch into the back. Keep the right hip open. Take a deep breath in. Shoulders relax. Just open. Breath out. Just roll the upper body onto the floor. Walk those palms, walk those elbows. Just embracing that beingness and having the courage to be in the presence of that space. It changed everything. Everything that from the fight to the peace, from the sickness onto the space of well-being, from being poor to the rich, whatever the polarity is, it's bringing back into its authentic being. And most people can respect and sense this space when you're in this space, not the space that you wear the mask of this or that. Respect you for being yourself. Now take a deep breath in very gently, walking back into that sacredness. Now in this very moment, you're trying to get love is gone, because for someone who doesn't have love, doesn't know the value of love. So it's pointless. So the adequacy of the mind is in fight now. Inadequacy of the mind is in fight. Now, the adequacy of the being bring you into this realization. Now, very gently, we move into a stronger plank. We keep the spine elongated from the head to the toe without the separation of anything. Now, we very gently drop the knees. Now, very gently, we take a deep breath in, push the hips into the front, push the hips into the back, breath out. Now, crawling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing into a gentle Bhujangasana. So even elbows on the floor. Allow the posture to come into its space of that it's forming into the space of that authenticity. Genuinely, the body is creating a space into the respect of the posture, respect of the breath, respect of the realization. Now very gently relax your third eye onto the floor. Soften your hips. Now palms onto the chest level, breathing in into an up face. Now in this very moment, even through the posture, you're respecting and honoring your own space of that being. Even it's performing through a body. Breathe out towards the down face. Now, slightly bend your knees one at a time to release the tension and very gently opening up into the space of the down face. Push the hips back. Allow the bum to face up. Now take a deep breath in, lifting up onto the toes, bending both knees and bringing the lower ribs onto the knees. Keep that back open, shoulder blades spread. Head and neck is not doing anything, it's just relaxing, gravitating. Now take a deep breath in, push the heels down, left foot into the front, into the pigeon pose. Now this is the time, once you have gained this regalness, any part of poor past that you, whether it's to respect, is you're looking at from the past what you have done, or looking at educational level, or looking at achievement level, they are all poor things. Now this is the part that you have to really let go, or forgive, or let it be. But this very moment, if you're not looking yourself through the perception of the past, this is the space of the new beginning. And the posture and the practice and the breath is you start treating yourself with respect. And very gently acknowledging this space of self-respect, how far you have come into this space. Now take a deep breath in, breath out, drop the elbows, walk those palms, palms facing up, release the tension of that. Psychosomatically, if the body is in the past, bring them into the present moment. If the breath is feeding a past and becoming scaling, bring them into the freshness of the present. Lead everywhere that you're coming into the awareness, into the respect of this very moment, and let it take the form of that space of realization. So this is when you are totally in the being, you have become more true to yourself than trying to be getting someone to like you or someone to recognize you. Because you yourself is making the right just choices to recognize yourself. So the most important person in this practice who should like you or respect you or love you is you. But it is very hard to face it. Now take a deep breath in, very gently walk those palms back into the space of where it was beginning, very gently transitioning into the space of a plank transition. Now very gently Drop the knees. Rotate the hips on a wider rotation. So even observe in the wider rotation to the other side. Bring that real self-respect, that being into the space. Now very gently, knees wide apart, stretch the spine into the back, palms facing up. Now in this very moment, you have come into the space of understanding and realization of all these things. Now you can treat every situation from this space of your own realization. So there is no other, if other is also respected. The difficulty is also respected. So everywhere, whether it's the nature, whether it's the home, there is a different level of a respected treating in that space is absolutely kindness. So now you are kind to the other as much as you're kind to you, because you have come into the space of understanding this whole thing of separation is no longer a separation, but it is a connection to the space of the being. So now when something is being mean to you, something being difficult to you, something being challenging to you, ask yourself where you have lost it. So there is no need to be angry of that space. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into an up face, breathing out towards a down face. Now bending one knee at a time. Now left leg up into the back, left knee to the chest, breathe out, come forward. Breath in, left knee to the left elbow, breathe out. Stretch back, left knee to the right elbow, stretch back. Take a deep breath in, left foot into the front. Arms raised onto the ground. Placing the fingers, palms facing up. 6 deep cycles of breath. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out, touch the floor. Now left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Clench and unclench, left reaching into the back, touch the floor. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. Now bend that knee and bring the hip down so the posture is more aligned. Right reaching into the back, touch the floor. Into a plank, drop the knees, stretch the spine on the out breath. Breathing in, crawling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into an up face. Breath out towards the down face. Breath in, right leg up into the back. Right knee to the right chest. Breath in, stretch back, right knee to the right elbow. Stretch back, right knee to the left elbow. Stretch back, right foot into the front. Arms stretch into the back, arms raised onto the ground. 6 deep cycles of breath. Touch the floor. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling. With an unclench, right reaching into the back, touch the floor. Left arm reaching into the front, up to the ceiling, into the back, touch the floor, into a plank, strong on the pelvic floor. Drop the knees, stretch the spine, rolling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing in into up face, breathing out towards the down face. Left leg up into the back, left foot into the front, arms stretch into the back, arms raised onto the crown, opening up onto the Virabhadrasana. So take a mudra that coming into a place of you have come into or making a decision in your life, but you're not scared of what others think. A decision might be very bold, but it is respecting the guidance of yourself. Take a mudra that you believe is right when you are true to yourself, might not always agree with others. But it might be wrong on the next day. So coming to that realization that you're not governed by a program. Gentle arch, elbow onto the knee, right arm reaching up into the front, touch the floor, left arm reaching up to the ceiling, into the back, onto the floor, into a plank, lower plank, up face, down face, right leg up into the back, right foot into the front, arms stretch into the back, arms raised onto the crown, opening up onto the Virabhadrasana. Coming into the space of taking a mudra that you have respect everything and you have taken a decision. Now coming to a place of you're not focusing on others in a place of a space of chatting about others, but truly connecting into the space of you. It is easy to talk about the others than yourself. This is the time that you can understand that, bring that better light to yourself rather than have lost ourselves in the other. And bring that strength back into your purpose. your truth. Gently arch back into the center, elbow onto the knee. Left arm reaching up to the ceiling, into the front, onto the floor. Right arm reaching up to the ceiling, into the back, touch the floor, into a plank, strong on the pelvic floor. Drop the knees, breathing in into a plank again. Drop the knees, stretch the spine into the back, breathing in into a plank again. Drop the knees, stretch the spine on the out breath, palms facing up. Just observe. Stick to your beingness instead of the body and the mind, what it went through. Of course, this is the time if you need to vent, you find it in a way of venting it where venting is needed to be vent. If it's the body, then the postures and the movements can release the tension. This is where the practice comes as a strong root that keeps the tree standing during its toughest storms of emotions. Got it? When you have these strong roots, there is a natural trust in the ecology of this space. Whether the branches are not no longer weak, so you will attract things coming into that space of the branches, whether it's the burns, whether it's the fruits, because your understanding and realization is coming into that space where everything is happening for you, whether it's friends, whether it's family, whether it's colleagues, whether it's workers, because you're a very reliable and true to yourself. So you're true to your words. So there's the truth for your actions. And this practice is bringing you a strong relationship, whether it's a discipline to your health, whether it's a discipline to your based on anything that you can see. Because you have stand up in the principles no matter what it is. So in the material world, this may not have the profitability that the mind seeks. So in realization, to a mind, this is more of a harder, stronger right than an easier wrong. Now the practice gives you that discipline that cannot be shaken by external factors. When you live in this level of realization, because you're living with aligned with your deepest values. So you're not looking at smaller profits. You're not looking at small teasings here and there. So now bring your environment into this level of understanding and realization, whether it's the health, whether it's the wealth, whether it's a relationship. Now that you have know that the other is not other, if you shut the other as the other, then you have shut yourself in the space of other. But yet your practice allows you to be you and do things that show who you are. And if you need to take opportunity to choose what is the priority, let it be how you respect yourself, as that you have respect your practice. Once you have come into that realization, they'll start to work. Out will take a better shape. Health, wealth will take a better shape. Relationship will take a better realization and understand. So at this very moment, take this very moment, find the most relevant and the beneficial for you. Palms facing down, crawling and bringing the chest into the front, breathing into an up face. Breathe out towards the down face. Now very gently walk those palms into the back, holding on to the opposite elbows, making the head, releasing the further tension. Move the head into the front and into the back. Now very gently shake the arms and release the tension. Now clasp the hands in the back, bend the knees, interlacing the fingers, release the shoulders further by switching it up to the ceiling, into the front. Stretch the elbows. If it is harder, just let it go and release the tension. So you interlace the fingers into the back and bringing that lock up to the ceiling, stretching the elbows as much as you can. Breath out, spread the wings and release the tension. Wake up the spine one vertebra at a time now. Shoulders roll back and release the tension. Now jump up and down for a few times to release the static. Release that sadness, release that fear, release what you were struggling before in a static level. Move the arms side to side, release, stir the tension. Shake, 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 shake. Now holding onto the hips and rotate the hips on a circular motion. Circular motion onto the other side. Now take a deep breath in, arms raise onto the crown and lifting up onto the toes. higher and higher and higher. Work with the space that is provided for you at the moment. And relax back to the heels. Now feet mat with the palm, bending the knees, sitting deeper. Palms under the namaskar position. Shoulders relax and twisted. So release the tensions that you're holding because something is easier, something is more profitable, something is less awkward. But this is the time, maintain your practice. You will take something less profitable, but it is more true. It is more hard than it's easy. So give some attention to spaces that you're struggling in this, whether it's the wealth, whether it's the relationship, where you have to do the work. So your practice will give you a sense of self-respect that can't be shaken by external factors when you're true to this space of your practice. You will see the teachings and the growth for you as a blessing. Now, very gently allow the bum to drop onto the floor, feet stretch into the front. Shake the legs and release static even further. Now, heels mat with apart, toes pointing at each other, and roll the calf muscles out even to bring the toes down to each other. Now, very gently pull the buttocks out and a gentle forward bend while your toes are pointing at each other. So your leg is rolled out and you're gently taking a stretch for the outer part of your legs, side parts of your legs. Now very gently coming back. Now bring the heels together. Now toes pointing outwards, flexing the toes once it's out towards you, and keep the palms in the back and stretch the elbows, shoulders relax, and lift up the heart in this pose. Now let the legs find its own place. Breathing in, gently coming back to what is neutral for you. Now take a deep breath in, knees to the chest completely. Breathe out. Arms rest onto the ground. Breathe out. Knees to the chest. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Shoulders relax and chest open. Coming into a place of a sukhasana or easy pose or sitting pose or whatever it is. And now take a deep breath in and twist the spine to the right. Back to the center. Back to the center. Onto the other side. Back to the center. Now very gently, shoulders relax and keep the elevate of that uniqueness of your heart. Let be the breath, let be the posture, having the courage to be yourself, courage to be the authentic being truly, courage to see other without the separation. Taking breaths to observe this space. By taking the breath, being alive to this space that you're observing, alive to the feeling of it, alive to the being of it, alive to the empathy as a fragrance of it. By aligning into the space of the being, once the mind felt the answers to your trouble, it's frustratingly just beyond your reach. It's no longer having that gap. The beingness is allowing the bridge, the gap between your capacity and what is needed. If you can trust this very moment and having the courage to have that integrity, when the time is naturally come into the place of the next step become obvious. This might be one of those times for all of us. You will know what you need to know when you need to know it. And trust in this purpose. Trust in this message. Don't try to force the answers of the next. Now, leading that into that space of the mystery universe, arms very gently raised back into the crown, palms onto the namaskar position of that self has realized that we all are one, even the one that we have the difficulty with. And if we have the difficulty the other one has, how would we would like to be treated? How we would be understood? How we would be respected? And this is that time that we are giving to the others. Now, take a deep breath in and chant in 3 ohms to the victory of this realization, and let it feel the vibration in every cell, every space that you have extended yourself in a place of thought or place of emotion, to vibrate the unity of all and one. Yet the God is moving through the perception of all of us. Take a deep breath in. Arms gently raised back to the crown, cleansing the space, the aura of the extension if you have gone into the extension, and the beingness in all extensions, and its unity and the connection. Bring those palms into the space of the crown of the realization that you're beyond this body and the mind. Third eye, that you can see the unknown very clearly. Throat chakra. The unity of the speech comes from without the separation. The heart, where it's pulsating in the space of the beingness. Solar plexus. The mystery that radiates in this body, and so is everything else beyond. Navel, coming into the home of your emotion where the space is being. Muladhara, that we are grounded into the space of this body, not the limitation of this body. Arms gently rest back to the space of the crown, cleansing the space of the aura of your family, all relationships, state, world, beyond, and see the unity of all. Comes under the Namaskar position that sees the space of the awakeness and feels the awakeness of everything. Namaste. So, as the time has come, sorry for my sneezing, without separation, the pollen is also want to celebrate the class by blossoming. So my love to all of you guys. Let me see your faces. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Deza, Rebecca. And thank you, Liz. And thank you, Maria. Did Pamela go on somewhere? She's in the text I will read later. She got to go. So yes, so you can understand, the more realization comes, path in a realization widen, but into the form it's become tightened. Because in spirituality, as much as your realization is to understand everything, you're very much the companionships that you have before will become very limited. Not because of anything else, because it's a brave journey and not many people can come into that journey. But yet you will find a collective group of people will be there, but not as much as where you want everybody else who you know, the family, the loved ones, the relatives, all to come into this journey. It won't happen like that. Unfortunately, it won't. But people will use the excuses of, or you have changed. So don't take it personally. People say that to me, that I have changed. But it's not. You are changing into the space of the realization furthermore, and you cannot entertain all what you entertain or had the ability or the freedom or the energy to entertain before is now need to be sustained. So they elevate and they will meet back in this journey. If they are meant to be in this journey, doesn't matter. It has to be the same path that I am traveling. But there can be many, many paths and many, many ways and many, many refuges to find that consciousness of God or Christ or Buddha or Allah or all these other. We perceive God in so many other names and we find it as an excuse to separate ourselves from the other. What I'm trying to say is that all the rivers, once it's called to the ocean, then it will be ocean. It's not Yara, it's not Niagara, it's not this, it's not that. So whatever you're going through this time, don't force yourself to find the answer that you're forcing to find. Let the next step will be shown rather than you have to dig to the next, excavate to the next step. Let it be shown and it will be shown, and keep the practice and the trust of whatever you're going through. That's the message in. It will show the answer. It will show the next step. It might not show a destination, but it will clear the path for you to move into the next level. So my love to you all. And as usual, take rest, have some walk, feed the body what it needs, feed the mind. Be very careful what you feed in the mind also, because what you're feeding is what you're going to gain. And big hugs for you all. Have a lovely, lovely Sunday. I think it's 11, 11, 11, 11. I think very soon. It's 11th of the 11th, and the time will be very soon, 11th of the 11th. So very powerful. Put some intentions for what you want the mystery to grow. All right, take care. Bye for now.